earlier in this interview, you were talking about how, the integration of data and how you go directly to the source. You want to connect directly to the source of data rather than relying on someone to put it in a spreadsheet or re-enter it. How do you, how does overall integration strategy affect data management? So in other words, you have data strategy and then you have your architecture and integration strategy over here. How do you bring those two things together and create like a more cohesive view of how it all comes together?
You see, one of the things people miss is always when they are doing the integration between two systems, they always integrate only the used data elements or used data structures. That's a wrong thing. I say that you do, A side all columns with B side all columns, because you never know what is it that you are going to change. And the biggest challenge is that if you do not establish an ISO standard kind of data exchange, then you are going to redo it again and again and again and again. 29002 is a great standard for industrial systems automation or classification or exchange of the characteristic data. And it very clearly defines, you take the full data requirement of the source and map it with the target and then leave it there, because you never know what kind of rule is going to come in place and what kind of mapping is required. So that's why, Eric, I personally believe that if you are not looking at the standards, you are actually losing out on the interoperability in future. And what is the biggest pain these days that I'm seeing is the integration. And is it going to go away? It's not going to go away, because in fact, it is going to be even more, because sometimes you need to now integrate the sensor data. Sometimes you need to integrate the stream. Sometimes you need to bring in, some of the social media data. And if you do not establish the ISO practices for exchanging the data, then you are going to redo that and you will lose control out of it.